By watching today's video, you will be able to boost the quality of your logo designs, allowing you to get more client approvals and of course add some stunning logo designs to your portfolio. With the way the design industry is going, learning how to create interactive designs is a no-brainer. Instead of putting flat files in front of your team, manager or client, imagine being able to hand them a design that looks so good it feels like a real website. Learn about Framer later in today's video. Now, my career and my logo designs really grew to greater things when I started to implement shape psychology into my projects, and that's why it's the first tip in today's video. Now, I'm not going to go into huge detail about the psychological meaning for each kind of shape, because I have done that multiple times on this channel, and there are loads of websites out there that talk about it. But briefly, squares and rectangles are strong and reliable, circular or oval shapes represent community, friendship and love, angled straight lines are linked back to motion and a dynamic sense of speed, and the list just goes on. But the important thing is to understand that our subconscious mind responds in different ways to different logo shapes. Straight lines, circles, curves, jagged edges, they all imply a different meaning, and so a skilled logo designer can use shapes to evoke a specific emotion to the target market, or to make the target market think a certain way. And remember, graphic design is just a visual communication, so shape psychology is a huge part of logo designing, or it should be. A very good example of shape psychology is the cat logo. Now, cat is short for caterpillar, and they're a business that leads the way in heavy construction machinery, production and sales. Triangles from a shape psychology point of view show strength and stability, which obviously is something you want to evoke when talking about machinery used in construction. Now, we would look into why yellow or orange is used for this logo, but that's another story for a different video. But if you do think you know, comment below. The second tip is to experiment with placing your logo design shapes in real life situations to see how they look. Sometimes we can kind of get tunnel vision when crafting our logo shapes on paper or design software, and that can lead us to where we forget about the actual practical use of the logo design. So before you send designs to a client or settle on a specific logo shape, try mocking it up on a business card, a letterhead, a banner, or wherever the logo might end up in real life, and see how it functions in that situation. You might find that your logo on screen looks very different when it's used in a real life application, and that might change the whole course of your project. Tip number 3 is to know your client and the target market. Yeah, I've said this many times, but you should be doing things like compiling a list of the corporate values of your client, or take a close look at the goals the business wants to achieve. If you conduct the research needed, you can then start to formulate concepts that turn into logo design shapes. So basically here, tip number 3 is a quick reminder to know your client and also their customers. The fourth tip helps with getting the ideas for your logo shapes. From your research, you can marry together word pairs in couples. So an example could be that Adidas had two words such as motion and progress, which would lead to their logo shape being born, as angled straight lines do evoke a sense of forward motion, and the steps up could be seen as progress. Or you can take my Truth Art logo project, where I used the initials for T and A for Truth Art, and then I also turned that into an easel, which of course relates back to art. Combining word pairs or words can lead to the best logo shapes, when carefully thought out of course. The fifth tip for excellent logo design shapes is to really focus on memorability. Now, it's one of the core concepts of a great logo design, and if you do focus on the logo being memorable throughout a project, you will likely end up with something halfway to being acceptable. And often an easy way to make a logo design memorable is to keep it simple. Think of the most popular logo designs out there. We're talking about Nike, Apple, McDonald's, Microsoft. All of these logos have shapes that are very simple and they stick in your mind. And that's the main key to their success, really, of course, alongside branding techniques and such. Tip number 6 is to use a grid. There are many grids at your disposal as a logo designer. Using a grid will ensure that your shapes are precise and crafted with care. Sure, you can start off with a sketch or an idea, but when it comes to finishing that shape, using a grid is almost always going to be a great idea. Now, I'm going to leave a video at the end of this one that talks about logo design grids, so I suggest you do check out that video to further your learning on the subject. So last week I launched a competition where you guys had to design me a banner. Now if you want to have another cash prize competition next month, do make sure to like and share this video on social media. And also it should be known that it was very difficult to choose the 3 top designs for this competition. I ended up finding things I wanted to change on every single design pretty much, but the work was good overall. But yeah, in 3rd place for $20 is this design right here. Now I liked my channel colours being used, I liked the minimal design, and I also liked how clean it looked. However, the Satori section in the white box on the left has a weird kind of leading and microspace layout. And I think the layout in general is just a bit random with not much thought taken into consideration. But yeah, it's a fairly good design and that's why it's in at number 3. Next up we have this design here for 2nd place and for $50. For me this could have been the 1st place, but the outline typography on the left and the right is almost illegible because it has that kind of glowing effect and it just doesn't work. Everything else is really awesome though, the lighting, the style, and it does look pretty epic. So yeah, congratulations to 2nd prize on this one. And the 1st place for $200 is this design here, which is really interesting. It falls in line with this year's and probably next year's design trends, and it's just a design that is very different from the rest. There were around 8 designs in total that I had to really consider for the top 3 spots, so it wasn't easy for me to do that. And this design right here doesn't need any changes made to it pretty much, which is one of the main reasons why it won. I'm going to contact the 3 winners via email today and we're going to get things processed. And don't worry if you didn't see your design, because next month I will launch a logo design competition, so remember to like and share today's video if you want that to happen. So the sponsor of today's video is Framer. It's a no-code, free-to-use tool making it easy for anyone to get into interactive design. Their mission is to help you get closer to real. You can create your own smart components complete with multiple states, design clean layouts with easy to use layout tools, and of course build flows so realistic that your project feels like an actual website. In just a couple of hours, you can have a new skill that helps you stand out from the crowd. Now sign up to Framer for free at framer.com/Satori. That link is in the description box below. But yeah, until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.